Driven by Mazda.
You got me stuck in the field. You got me stuck in the field.
Welcome back to AM. It is 17 to 9. If you're looking for a way to improve your quality of life, and who isn't, then getting arty might be the answer. Research by Creative Waikato shows that residents who engage with arts activities have better well-being outcomes. Creative Waikato CEO Jeremy Mayall is with us this morning. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, it's good to be here.
Good to have you. Yeah. So, who exactly benefits from art?
Everyone does. I think one of the good things about art is when art, culture and creativity are strong and visible, communities are strong and visible. So the more that we're involved with arts, culture and creative activity, the higher our propensity for well-being is.
Okay, and what do you mean by well-being? Is that happy, smiley?
It comes in that form, but the way we've looked at well-being with our research partners, Huber Social, is covering kind of all aspects of what it means to be human. And so it's happy and smiley, but it's pride, it's sense of connection to community, it's connection to whānau and place, it's connection to nature. So it is a kind of holistic understanding of subjective well-being and where that sits for our lives.
See, I can understand it when it comes to, like, Māori culture, for example. I was talking to our co-host Audini about this the other day, and she said that she gets a sense of well-being, a sense of fulfillment when she goes to her marae. Like, I can understand that. But when I go into an art gallery, I rarely feel anything.
Sometimes that can be about finding the art that resonates with you. So there's so many different art forms, so many different kind of forms of expression, and each of those things will resonate with people differently. So the things that have the most meaningful impact to your well-being are the things that resonate with you, the things that make you feel alive. And so one of the interesting things about an experience of art that kind of moves you, and it may be that it's not visual art, it's music or it's theatre or something else, but you feel it with your entire body. So it's not just a kind of emotional thing, it's not just a neurological thing, but it's a physical thing as well. And so for me, that feels a little bit like magic if you can kind of create something that exists in some form and it resonates with your whole person.
Music, 100% music does that every time. So that's, you're talking about all the arts. You're not
totally
talking about, okay. But do you think some people, you know, when you get that spine tingly feeling when you're watching a live band that you just love, do you think some people get that looking at a piece of art on the wall?
Sometimes.
Wow.
I've got a question. Yeah. So does your art include things like cooking, creative cooking?
Yeah, I mean, humans are creative.
Yes.
And I think that that's the bit that is really exciting to explore, is the fact that we can be creative in so many different ways, and we are all telling stories in so many different ways.
Because that's my happy place. Like, I feel really good when I'm in the kitchen creating.
That is
some
creating,
sort of, yeah.
Do you think, though, that, I mean, if we're looking at the correlation between well-being and engagement in art, is there an argument that actually, because the people who are happy and well are more likely to be privileged and have time to engage in art, and so that's why people who engage in art are happy and well? You know, there's a lot of people that are really under time pressure, that are working all the time, that don't have time to go and engage.
There's an element of that, but if we look to groups who are doing work with people with disability or mental health issues, the art is the tool that brings joy to life. And part of that is how we kind of approach it. So if we think about art, culture, creativity as being part of the things that make us human, and we think about them in the same way that we think about sleep or active recreation, going for a run, and you make 10 minutes each day to do something creative, it can have a hugely profound effect on your life.
The definition we're using of art here is quite broad, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, you could walk down the pavement in a zigzag fashion and call that art, couldn't you? Do you know what I mean?
You could call it creative, I think.
Yeah, well, that's, but which is what we're talking about.
If it makes you happy,
so anything,
zigzag away.
So anything, basically anything other than what you have to do. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, creativity comes in so many different forms, and it can come through play. It can come through walking in a zigzag or moving in a funny walk. It can come from dance. It can come from singing. So, I mean, when you get together with family or friends and you're singing over a few drinks in a kind of garage party, that can be really rewarding. So the more that we kind of make opportunities for those things, and the more that we support them being accessible in our communities, so supporting community groups, supporting spaces, supporting venues, supporting those organizations organisations who make those things accessible, that's where we can make the most profound difference.
Here's the question that we have been asking this morning. What is the peak age for you, to being at your highest point of well-being? What was the age group that you found?
For the survey, we mostly focused on asking people 18 and over, and it kind of peaks sort of slightly later in life. But there's something really magical also about childhood in that kids are naturally predisposed to creative play.
Yeah.
And as we get older, we tend to remove opportunities for play from our lives because we get busy or we get fixated on this thing or that thing or whatever. But if we look to our kids and we look to the kids who are kind of using their imagination and thinking playfully and just kind of expressing themselves really beautifully, that can be something that is really easy to champion and something we can put in every morning. Wake up, have your cup of coffee, and find something that resonates with you, whether it's drawing or dance or music or whatever.
Walking in a zigzag line.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in.
Real pleasure.
Really interesting discussion this morning. Creative Waikato CEO Jeremy Mayall with us 11 minutes away from 9 o'clock. There you go. I've always said there's a couple of things in life that you can immediately alter the way that you're feeling, and one of them is definitely music. If you put the right song on, immediately you can change your disposition. Another one is exercise.
Agree.
Yeah.
Takes a couple of minutes, but once it gets there. Another one is jumping in a cold body of water. Do you know what I mean? That immediately just your mindset is completely changed. And the other one is something you do at nighttime, which we won't mention on Breakfast TV. 10 away from
Or in the morning. But the thing that links all of those things...
You can do it during the day too, actually.
You can do it whenever.
You can do it zigzaggy, you can do it be as creative as you like.
There we go.
The thing that links all of those things is breathing, sometimes more heavy than others. Which I think is the
this a
thing, though,
segue?
right? Well, no, that's the thing that makes you feel happy, like music and singing and jumping into cold water. It's all the breathing.
You're right.
It's oxygen into your brain.
It is.
So who goes into an art gallery like...
Well, exactly. Go and breathe
you
heavily in an art gallery next, and you'll enjoy it more.
You should try it.
Maybe I will. It'll be a bit creepy for everyone else, but...